Nelson,
my brother,
how's it,
my brother.
Mikey?
How's it, my man?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm well. Long time. It feels like we haven't done this in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while since we beat Sundowns. I think it's 2 weeks now. It's been a while since we did a show. Actually. Yeah. Is your guest coming?
No, my guest chickened out, man. Last minute.
Oh, nah, it's fine.
Nah, it's okay.
Anyway, good afternoon, Mapakania. Xolise unganibulisi. Siyanibulisa kule show yethu Orlando Pirates Forum. This is with me, Mpehle and Nelson. Ndah is away on personal duties back in the Eastern Cape. We are reviewing our game on Friday night actually. Pirates versus Cape Town Spurs, Carling Cup, last 16. Pirates won 2-0. Nelson, my friend, let's jump straight into it. I doubt it's gonna be a long episode. Thoughts on the game, please. What did you think of the game and what made us win in the end?
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Mabakania, for supporting us. The last episode did really well. If you can just continue, supporting us, liking our page, and subscribing to the content, we can only get better from here. So with regards to the game, my man, first half we didn't really play that well. We were struggling to get into actually playing in the first gear. We actually struggled to get into the second gear. We couldn't actually get a hold of the midfield battle. We couldn't actually win the midfield battle that much in terms of making those penetrative passes in between the lines and to our forward players. But in terms of the first half, Olisah and Ndah, at least he was playing those diagonal balls to the left of our attack to Hoto. Those actually were some of the balls that were actually going to be dangerous to the Cape Town City defenders. But overall, second half we actually played well. We actually made a lot of box entries. We made their keeper work. In the first half or second half, I think maybe there were two or more chances. But in the second half, we actually had a lot more chances to actually hit them. So I was really happy with the second half performance. Great to see Lorch back. We just love Lorch, man. That guy is just our favorite player.
We love him to the extent that you give him 100,000 when he doesn't deserve it.
Don't be too harsh, Mpehle, man. The guy has been through a lot, man. He just came back. So at least we just needed to just give him a token of appreciation, for sticking through. But I'm happy to see him back. I'm happy to see Buthelezi getting, his debut. I'm glad that it was a clean sheet on his side. I was happy to see Mahopa getting his first start in the Orlando Pirates jersey after 1.5 years of being at the club. He impressed me in a sense that he's no longer that traditional number 9 that he used to be at Baroka. He's now mobile. He was actually occupying the right and left half spaces. His combination play with Kenneth Erasmus and Lorch. I saw some nice interplay passing there. So it was going to be risky. Had we lost this game with the changes that the coach made, it was going to be risky because the supporters. If you lose a game and you have made so many changes after winning a game against Sundowns, his head was going to be chopped off. I'm just glad we won, and I'm happy with the way we performed, especially in the second half. But yeah, we could only get better from here. What are your thoughts of the game, my man?
Pretty much what you said. First half, very horrible. I don't think we imposed ourselves on the first half, and we're dependent too much on Olisah Ndah's diagnosis, as you are alluding. I felt the two central midfielders were not showing for the ball. Maybe they're not comfortable in receiving the ball on on the first phase or the second phase of attacking, and it made us to play long more often than
Yeah,
not,
yeah,
which is why for me it's quite important for me that we missed Ndlondlo or a Kamvui
yes.
type
I
of
can't believe.
player on the bench to help us to progress the ball. I was a little taken aback as to why we selected two um, defensive midfielders
Midfielders,
who were
yes.
not very comfortable on the ball against Cape Town Spurs, who are 16th on the table. It's something that backfired badly, and it showed. You understand, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it was in large parts something that I was displeased with within our first half performance.
Where's
So
Ndondo?
yeah,
Is he injured?
basically, I don't know when Ndlondlo is. But we should be
Yeah,
playing Karim Kamvwidi as an 8 if Ndlondlo is not playing, or
sure.
even or even Spelo Baloni should have started, in my opinion.
Really?
If
Is,
be,
is
yeah,
he not a
because
similar type of a player though to
nah,
the two?
position wise is better than the two. He's
Okay.
better than the two in terms of keeping it moving. He's better than the two. And between the two, in terms of keeping it moving or being comfortable on the ball, Munare is the better of the two for me.
Yeah.
Which brings me to my next question. If if we're not playing a big game or we're not closing out a game, what does Miguel Timm offer us in this position football that we are trying to play? Uh, because I don't think he had a good game at all. First half or second half,
Yeah.
he lost a lot of balls. And for me, you will know that it's not the first time that I'm saying that Miguel Team loses a lot of balls. I appreciate the work rate and all of that when it's the bigger games like the game against Sundowns,
Yeah. Yeah.
even closing out games. But in the long run, is what we're trying to do here suited for him? Because we are trying to be offensive and take control of the game, and we are
Yeah.
also trying to take, yeah, I already mentioned it, sorry. We're trying to take control of the game. And unfortunately, if we play both him and Munare,
Yeah.
it deprives us of that particular control or attacking impetus, whereby
Yeah.
football is played into stages, phase one, phase two, and then it's into our attacking third. So, what are your thoughts besides marking and moving around? And what is it really good
But
at?
that's one aspect of his game that he brings forth. Mpesh. I think because we are playing a highly fast paced game, and obviously teams will always want to get us on a counter. You know, in the modern day football terms, they're talking about transitions. So obviously teams will always want to hurt us on transition. So I think he's important in that regard. Between him and Monari in terms of cutting out the opposition's transitions is much better because his interception play is much better of the two. So when we are playing with Ndlondlo, with Monari, the teams actually you'll see that they get a lot of more chances in terms of those transitions when they play the balls behind. They're able to get a lot of chances. But when team is there, you always have that sense of that our back line is protected when teams are trying to get us on a transition. He will always protect us in that regard. But I think yesterday, because there was no much threat, I think that the coach could have actually seen that earlier in the first half. I mean, I don't think there was a reason for him to actually start the second half, because the opposition was not, in terms of pace, in terms of playing those balls behind. They were not much of a threat in terms of the transition. So I think he could have actually substituted him and then maybe put in a Kamvuri earlier in the second half. So, but I think maybe it's just one of the tactical, mishaps of the coach from the yesterday's game. But yeah, he gives us that balance, man. I would always want to have a team, especially when we're playing against teams that would want to actually hurt us on a counter and transitions, because he's much better in that regard.
Cool. So who was your man of the match? Because I'm not really happy with how supporters think. If this is how supporters think, I don't know.
No, but with the Lorch one, I think it was more.
Who was your man of the match? Because supporters are dealing with emotions now. Hey, this is getting horribly bad. Because for me, and I've been lambasting him. Even Pat Maswanganyi had a good game on Friday.
He did.
He actually, of the attacking front four, especially in this first half, he was the best out of them all.
Yes.
So if you wanted, I think it's a sentimental thing, like you basing it out. I was very skeptical of giving it to Ndah.
Yeah.
Partly, he was the best player on the pitch. There was a Cape Town Spurs player, I think number 15 or so. He was also very good, that guy. But Ndah was the best player on the pitch. It's just that he was the best player in terms. This is what makes me cringe about the performance. He was the best player in terms of giving us an attacking impetus more than us being threatened defensively. I don't know if you understand me.
Yes.
A defender is usually man of the match when he's had a good game defensively.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
But he was head and shoulders above everyone for me. Was calm. There was a back heel that he did late in the. It seems like he just has night and day. While everyone else is rushing, he's on his own thing and doing his own thing.
That guy, bro.
So we deprived supporters of Paris, deprived Olisah Ndah 100,000. I'm sure it's in millions in nairas to build his father another house. So I'm not really happy about that. But what did you think?
Yeah. Olisah Ndah had a brilliant game, man. Olisah Ndah, by far, I think he's by far the best passer of the ball in the PS in terms of defenders. He's by far the best passer of the ball in the PSL. The guy had a brilliant game. I was also impressed by Hoto. Hey, like no one actually seems to talk about this guy enough, And I will keep repeating it in these episodes that Hoto always delivers, man. Like Hoto always plays his heart out. He always, you are guaranteed to get a 6.5 at least performances from this guy. He was our liveliest player in terms of attack on the left channel. And also Tito had a brilliant game. There were two crosses that he played into the box. One, I think it was missed by Hoto, and another one was missed by Kemit Erasmus. And there was another big chance, I think on the left hand side, where Hoto played it in the 18th half of the Cape Town City defense, and then it was at Shandu. He couldn't convert. So yeah, Hoto played well for me. Tito had a brilliant game. Olisah Ndah as well as Kemit
Erasmus for pressing.
Yes,
Kemit Erasmus. Out of his game. I have to applaud how he's taken to those demands of the game.
Sure.
I actually, whenever Kemit Erasmus would enter, I would basically, you remember I said we started it was the game against Stellenbosch in Cape Town. I said we went to 10 men as soon as Kemit Erasmus.
As soon as he got into the pitch,
because he was shielding. I don't know what he was doing. But his pressing has improved. The work ethic has improved. Because as a footballer, the quality is not in question. It's just about helping the team when we have to defend without the ball. I have to applaud him. He's been excellent. And
Yeah.
I saw
He's now a
goal
90 minutes player. It's like he has,
yes,
reversed his years. It's like, he's a year or two younger now. You know what I mean? Because
perhaps
when he came,
perhaps has always been a 90 minutes player. It's just that maybe in those particular teams, well, at Sundowns he didn't play a lot, but at Cape Town City, maybe he was the one tasked with pulling much of the effort to the point that it tired him out. But or he sees the competition within the team, and everyone must work their socks off because the full team is back now.
Sure. And also, I think we need to commend the conditioning team. And, Lorch played the 90 minutes, but obviously you could see that he's still a bit rusty here and there. But at least for the mere fact that he was able to put 80 plus minutes into the game after not playing for so long. And also Olisah, Olisah, you can't tell that this guy hadn't played for the past, 8 months or so. And for him to come and give such a performance, I think kudos to the conditioning team, kudos to the technical team for having actually worked on these players. I think they deserve to actually be applauded for the sterling job that they are doing. Bule also came in, but I think he's still a bit rusty. He was horrible. But I mean, obviously he hasn't played in a long time. Let me not be too harsh. But
I will be too harsh on Pule. I will be too harsh.
But we still love the boy.
I still needs to fix his final ball. There's just something about his final ball and flicks and I don't know. I was one of the people who questioned the 2 years that we gave to him. But let's see. Hopefully he has an X factor. Hopefully he rediscovers that. Otherwise,
sure. Hopefully he will.
I'm not very hopeful, but I hope he does get back to his best because I know that there was a quality player in there somewhere, but injuries can do something to players.
Sure.
Even Lorch, physically, he's not, and he doesn't seem like he's gonna get back to where he was able to thrive ferociously, because I think now is going to be uzodlala timing kakhulu. There is something that I think he's lost a bit of pace that I'm seeing, or a bit of stamina. So I'll check though to see as full fitness comes in. But I can see
but it's expected though. I mean, the guy is almost 30 now. We can't really expect him to have the same pace that he did 4 years ago. You know what I mean? He is entering into his 30s right now. Obviously, the pace will die down. Now it's going to just be the intelligence. For him, I love his intelligence, his link-up play, his forward passing. So in terms of creativity, I don't think we have a player at the institution right now that matches that guy's brain in terms of creativity. But in terms of pace, obviously, because of the years. I mean, he's 30 now. He's almost 31 next year. So obviously, in terms of the pace,
Yeah. Closing out, what would you like to add? We're playing AmaZulu, I think, midweek. I was asked by Kaizer Chiefs supporters not to mention their result, and I'm not going to mention their result, but we play in AmaZulu to come back of a cup win. So what are your messages to close out this episode, moving forward into the game midweek?
For AmaZulu, I don't want this game to give us a false sense of because I mean I don't want to say that we were too good for Cape Town Spurs, but at the same time also I mean this is Cape Town Spurs that is 16th on the log, so I wouldn't say that we were too good. I think we were average, to be honest. So I think for AmaZulu it's going to be a greater test. So in terms of the starting 11 for the AmaZulu game, I would probably, is Lipasa fit now to come back?
I don't know. I don't even know why Lipasa withdrew. Because I stayed off football as soon as the international break came in, but I glanced somewhere that him and Saleng have gone home and what, but I did not read the actual articles as to why was that. So I don't know actually, but if fit, he must start for me.
If he's fit, obviously. If he's fit,
I wanted Makgopa to get a chance, but he must still come somewhere. I was, and that finish, what was he doing? Second half, is that a finish or what?
But don't be too harsh on the boy, man. The guy gave an assist, he created a penalty. Kudos for the reverse pass. Reverse pass. It shows that there is something there for that second goal. So that will give him confidence as well. He also has a goal, Mos. He scored against Faneng. He scored against Faneng. He has the hunger. You know what I mean? I think I would give a player that actually shows the hunger, even though in terms of technical ability, lacks here and there in terms of a build-up play. But for the mere fact that he has the heart and he shows the hunger, I'd probably give him a few minutes. I'll give him maybe a first half and see how he performs. And because if the passer is not there, we'll need a target man there. So I'll start with him. Give him more confidence and So in terms of Lorch, maybe he should start on the bench. We must start a Kambuidi or Ndlondlo. If Ndlondlo is back, his feet, then we must not play a double pivot against an AmaZulu. I don't think they don't have players that can actually travel us in terms of pace, in terms of transition. So even their midfield is aging, you know what I mean? So there won't be a need for us to, because they're still playing with Ben Motswari, and I saw yesterday they played with Ben Motswari. They introduced Maluleka in the second half. So in terms of the midfield battle, we should be able to do okay with one pivot. We shouldn't have a double pivot. That would limit our creativity going forward. So play a single pivot in Monare with a Kambuidi or in Ndlondlo. I think Hotto must keep his place in the two center pairing positions. Obviously, Oki and Ndah must continue. I don't think there should be a center back at Pirates that benches Ndah, unfortunately. But Ndah must keep his place permanently. And obviously, Shandu on the right, and Maswangani must continue in that number 10 position. Yours?
Pretty much the same. I'd start Lorch again, though, for me. I want us to start him. Lorch must get ready. We are playing some people soon. So the sooner it gets back to...
You want him for that big match temperament?
Yes. Lorch knows how to play big games, and
we
must make a statement come that game. But that is far. We're facing AmaZulu now, so I'd like him to start. Pretty much the same team, just Miguel Timm out for me, and a more offensive number 8 to replace him, so that we are able to keep control of the game. Keeping control of the game means that we're going to allow less chances to come against us. And watching AmaZulu yesterday, I don't think they will pose a lot of trouble in terms of our midfield dominance. But we must be wary of Ngema. Had a good game yesterday. We must be wary of him. So Munare needs to keep check of him. Otherwise, it's a game that I think we should win handsomely at that. They've got an error-prone Tariq Feliz. Was lucky yesterday, but scored. But I could see that it's a weakness that we can look into.
Exploit,
look into. Perhaps they'll come with a back three against us as well, because I saw that they played Pahlele, they played Gumede, and they played Feliz with Hanimub and Skakane as their wing backs. So we need to prepare for something like that, because maybe they'll come with that. But we need the 3 points. We desperately need the 3 points to move our ship. We desperately need to win all of our games in hand, so that we are into the title race, because now we are out of it. But if you can win those games in hand and be consistent as the league leaders are, then perhaps we'll push them close. The goal is for me, the goal is to push them closer than the 16 points. I think 16 plus points they won it with last season. So yeah, let's go out there, let's go support the team, and let's keep the momentum going. Otherwise, Mapakania, thank you so much. Please subscribe, as Nelson said. Let us know of flaws and let us know where we can improve. Obviously, it's starting out and we're going to improve as time goes by. We're planning big things. It's just that we wanted to see if the content resonates, and we are seeing positive reviews. So thank you for that. Thank you for the support and thank you for the reviews. Otherwise, as we say, after win or lose, once a pirate, always a pirate. Nelson Mganami, bye-bye. Up the pass.
There are only two institutions that matter at this moment in this country. It's AmaZulu.
You had to.
And AmaZulu.
You had to. Bye, people. Bye. Bye.